Yeah, is it true that adopted children are more prone to emotional, behavioural and learning problems?
Any child that is drawn from difficult circumstances, of severe deprivation, abuse, abandonment, and a series of other difficult experiences is bound to have problems with attachment, bonding, and consequently emotional behavior problems, and with learning issues, because as we've discussed earlier, children from difficult circumstances also have not had adequate opportunities for early stimulation and learning, and so they're likely to have certain developmental deficits or neurodevelopmental disorders. That said, any child who is from a dysfunctional family, a biological child who may be similarly exposed to dysfunctional family contexts like parental marital discord, alcoholism in the parent, mental illness, who has been neglected or abused, the consequences are similar. So, of course, we know that adopted children are drawn from difficult circumstances, but it is about what kind of interventions and opportunities that any child receives. If issues are resolved, if all these difficult contexts and experiences are addressed, then whether biological or adopted, children move on and develop optimally. If they are unresolved, it doesn't matter whether the child was biological or adopted, these issues are going to continue to play out. This is what we believe. Studies have shown that adopted children are more prone to such problems, but these studies are also likely to be biased in some ways because they're focusing purely on adopted children. And again, there are so many contextual variables, adoption disclosure being one. How do parents approach the issue of disclosure? Do they keep this whole adoption business a secret? Is it viewed negatively? Within adoption, disclosure is a possible context from where emotional and behavioral issues could arise. So how has the child, dealt with the disclosure? What has been told to the child? Have the parents been open, relaxed and joyous, or has there been trepidation and hesitancy in telling the child about adoption? So this is one possible area that could create some of these sort of issues. But in all fairness, we feel that while there may be stories, and there are some of these stories unfortunately floating around about adopted children, things not turning out well, serious behavioral issues, but the family contexts need to be examined. And there are always family issues here, like the ones I described. And unfortunately it becomes Unfortunately it becomes all too convenient for families, families to blame the child and the adoption issue for failures that they have within their family systems and relationships. So adoption, like a biological child, and the right child rearing practices are adopted. And it's not going to work in either case if our parenting practices and our child rearing practices are not conducive to a child's emotional needs.